If you could wave a magic wand and fix one thing about the current fertility landscape, what would it be?
It would be access. It would be access in terms of geography and access in terms of coverage for these procedures. A lot of people always say, well, IVF is so expensive. Well, so is hip replacement. So is a major heart surgery. The difference is those things are covered, whereas IVF is not always. It's hard when people say it's expensive because it's not expensive relative to other necessary aspects of care and treatment that, are procedures that people go through every day. So I think that's my number one thing that I would be able to fix. And man, I'm working so hard to try and get it fixed. I say this to everybody that I talk to. 43 years ago, I was born in Virginia. Guess which state still doesn't have an insurance coverage mandate? Virginia. That's how long I've been working on it.
Well, a lot of states still don't have insurance mandates, which is ridiculous. Even though, we were told that IVF is going to be covered for everybody. Guess we're still waiting.
I mean, I would be very happy if that happened, as long as it didn't restrict people's autonomy and access. That's the key.
Mm-hmm. What message would you share with fertility professionals and even lawmakers about the heart of this work?
I think for lawmakers, my message is always the same, which is that infertility doesn't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican or an independent. It affects 1 in 6, and that's only the people that we know that are dealing with an infertility diagnosis. That's not even the people that we know that need treatments like IVF to build their families through, because they're LGBTQ or because they're going through cancer treatments or whatever. It's a lot of folks. So more than likely, their voters are dealing with these issues that we're talking about and wrestling with. So that's what I always say to legislators. I think the biggest thing for me is you cannot assume that a patient will walk into your door knowing everything that you know in terms of their options. That was one of the things that the Doctors Jones did really well with my parents is yes, they explained IVF or what little they knew of IVF to my parents, but they really explained it in a way that made my parents feel comfortable and feel like they could, take this leap. That's critical, right? Is being able to spend that time with your patients and just answering every single question that they have and making them feel like, okay, there are no dumb questions. This is a whole new frontier for you. And I'm the expert and I'm here to answer whatever questions you may be. I don't care how off the wall you think they are, they're not. Opening that dialogue very, very early for folks, because you don't want to get into a situation where patients feel like they can't question their provider. Ask them the questions. They'll give you their opinion, but then, like I said, it's up to you to decide whether that path is the right path for you or not.